Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's DukesTheScoop. It's Big Dog Chico. It's Uncle Neely. Lot to unpack today. Anonymous coaches still chirping. NBA playoffs are winding down, and we got Coach Carl Reed joining us. It's the morning run.
Oh, no. Woke up motivated, woke up winning. It is the morning run. Good morning, Uncle Neely. I almost said Uncle Duke. Uncle Neely and Duke's the Scoop. What's happening?
What's up, bro?
Oh, good.
It's all
Hey,
good,
man.
Chico. How you making it, bro?
Coming off this Memorial Day weekend, finally had another day to recoup and recover and relax and get right.
From that
We're
half
back
a
on
bill.
it, man. Yeah, I drank a little bit more than a half a beer this time, and still feel it a little bit. But it's not about me. It's about you guys. Y'all are looking good. You know, nice and rested. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you this. One thing about a holiday, you need a day after the holiday.
Recovery day.
Yeah.
And that's
But
exactly what we
we
did.
back at it.
We definitely back at it. NBA still going on. We're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover Shador Sanders. We're gonna cover news from the Big 12 coaches. We got Coach Carl Reed joining us today. But before we get into all of that, we must just shoot the ish and talk ish with between between us three. You know what I mean? So I don't know where you guys want to start. You want to go to NBA? You want to wait later on? Tell me. Talk to me.
All right, man. We can go there. You picked the Knicks. What's going on?
I did pick the Knicks. Although I went back and watched some of the predictions that we did. And by oh my, Big Dog Chico said, when I picked the Knicks, you guys came back and picked the Knicks too. And I said, you know what? Hold up. Time out. I think I like the Pacers because of their depth and what they can bring. And with you guys picking the Knicks is kind of like the guy on the on that movie. Kind of like Jinxon. You know, so I said I might have to go with the Pacers. I like what they could bring. They're just as dangerous, and it looked like the Pacers are pulling this one out right here. What you shaking your head for? You don't believe that? Want me to pull up the footage?
Chico, you really go do that, man? You really go do that?
It's the truth. It's fact.
Chico, come
What
on,
we
man.
doing?
No, you're right. You're right, Chico. You picked and flip flop. However you want to do it, Chico. I would tell you this, man. Halliburton, 30+ points, the rebounds, and the first person to do this in playoff history without a turnover. Halliburton went to Halliburton off like he just made absolute difference. Like it's that's what it just came down to stretch that lead. They go back to New York. I think your New Yorkers gonna play spirited, and I don't really know how much motivated the Pacers would be to win on New York floor versus their own. But I would advise them to get it done because you don't want New York coming back to you with a damn chance. Because if it goes 7, Chico, you're gonna flip back to New York then.
Go ahead, Dukes. What you think?
Man, I think the series over. I think Halliburton, that big guard, we talked about it the other day, man. You had a really good assessment. Like it's hard for me, like even being undersized guard when I used to play even rec ball. I just find it difficult when you look at everything that happens in the NBA over the past 30, 40 years. The only small guard that led a team to win it all was Steph Curry since Isaiah Thomas. So if your lead, it's just my theory, just coming back to play again. I think Halliburton. How tall is Halliburton? What's about 6'5"?
Gotta be
4'6".
If he ain't, he long.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Halliburton dad, man. Like, man, free pops, dog. He was in the crowd. I mean, he was in the box. They said, look, they gave him the whole speech. Listen, you can come to the game, but you cannot leave the suites. He said, all right, but he was having a good time. And shoot, man, father-son relationship. Hey, man, it's Father's Day coming up. Let's go for the most viewed father in the playoffs, or the most visible father in the playoffs right now, and his son Halliburton going to Halliburton off, like Uncle Neely said. So I'm with it.
Yeah, they did right by that man to allow him to come back to the games and be allowed in the press box. And that was smart. Hey, man, put him in the press box. Don't let him be on the floor. That way, just in case he gets some drinks in him, he wandering off on the floor or something like that, we don't have to worry about it. Put him in the press
Just in
box,
case.
lock the door, let him drink all he want to. We got an extra security guy there by the door. Don't let him go anywhere. And everything is fine, right?
Halliburton,
Absolutely.
Halliburton daddy crazy, man. He remind me of Pat Mahomes' daddy, bro. Like for real.
You remind me of everybody. Somebody got an uncle like that somewhere.
Yeah, man. Halliburton
You get
daddy.
everybody love talking about these YNs. You can't forget about the RNs, and I ain't talking about registered nurses.
So, what you talking about?
The real.
The real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
been doing it.
I
Yeah.
thought you was gonna go.
Man, been doing it so long, don't know they doing nothing wrong. Like what I did.
Right. Looking around like,
right.
well, you just pulled up on Giannis.
Y'all tripping. What I do?
Yeah.
All I did was walk up in his face and say, yeah.
Forehead on that man's forehead.
Right.
Yeah, man. Really just pulled up on Giannis like it wasn't nothing wrong with it, bro. Man, like got in his face too. Like, man.
Wait, Dukes, before that, walked on the court like it wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
right.
Like you're not even supposed to be on the court.
Like he paid for the court.
What Frank Gore said, Auntie, chill.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Pops be going all out. Shout out to him though. And
shout out to him, man. Glad they let him back in. Similar situation unfolded in the West. With OKC asserting their dominance. SGA, man, I think has proven if you doubted he MVP, you can't watch this series and doubt it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, I'm an Ant-Man fan. I'm still reading my book. I'm hoping he got a couple of miracles in here. And but one thing about it with Ant-Man, you got to figure out a way to shoot the ball more than 15 times a game.
Yeah.
Like twice in this series, he shot the ball less than 15 times. And you just cannot do that.
Look at that.
First half, 4 points in the first half. And I think the biggest difference is the way that the way that OKC defends him. They are really running a boxing one at the NBA level. They're running a boxing one, and every time they pass them off, there's an all NBA caliber defender. Like when you think about Casey Wallace, when you think about Lou Dort. So when you're passing him off, it's to another basic like a really rangy defender who has a ton of energy.
Dukes, let me ask you this from a strategy standpoint, because I absolutely agree with you in that he has to shoot more. But when you look at the defensive scheme and the rotation and the defensive energy that OKC is playing with, it really means that we asking him to also just take some badass shots too. Because the way the defense is at him, I don't know if he's just getting the looks that he needs to get while his shooting is low. Because what I'm saying is he's playing basketball.
Right.
Like sometimes, Kobe may rest in peace. Kobe pull up with 3 jokers on him.
He got to.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like if they're gonna come back in this series, him just shooting the ball, period, bad shot or not, it's got to go through him.
Absolutely, man. 15 shots ain't gonna get him. That man need 30 shots a game. Like seriously. Like I don't care if they're good ones, bad ones. They're better. And the way that, and to his credit, he made the right basketball plays, right? And we talked about LeBron ad nauseum for making the right basketball play. You cannot make the right basketball play when you're the best player on the team. Sometimes you just got to take, you don't want to depend on Dante or Nikhil Alexander Walker and Julius Randle to be the guy to take you home. In that close game, Ant-Man, there's no way. There was one play in particular, I think, with a few maybe with 50 seconds left, Ant-Man gave up the point. Like, bro, you don't give the point up. You don't. Like, you should have the ball in your hands, make the defense extend because you're the catalyst. And
like
to his point, he did make the right basketball play, but right now the right basketball play for the best player on that team by far is for him to take as many shots as possible.
And one of the things I'm seeing that, and again, I'm not diminishing because I think OKC is forcing them into this. You got to stop giving the ball to the shooter with 2, 3, or 4 seconds left, man.
Right.
Like somebody out there just pounding the damn out the ball. Defense come trapped in like, oh, let me give it to Chico now. And Chico do like he do when I pass the jaw, just like, I don't want it now. You ain't get to when I want it.
Right.
Wasted possession.
Chico?
Like this one right here. You just jump up in there and go 1-2 back to 1. Not 1, 2, 3.
Chico, I just passed it to you.
No, I'm talking about Unc. All right. Let's jump up in there. He went 1. Now he gonna go 3.
Hey, Mr. Sensitive.
All right, no sensitive. All right.
I
No
got
sense.
this steel cup over, throw it your ass over there.
I got no sensitive. All right. Ant-Man made the right play.
I really hopped in your spot to keep you relying on yourself again. Because like they pointed out in the chat, you had a whole New York Knicks backdrop up the other day.
I did.
And now you talk about you picked Pacers.
I did. Well, everything is true across the board. I had the Knicks back route, and then I picked the Pacers. Everything is true across. But I tell you what else is true. Anthony Edwards, like you said, Dukes, and he has to take more shots. That's what separated Jordan and Kobe, Steph Curry, and others from everybody else. That's what made them great. They taking those tough shots, those shots that everybody is not going to take. You're not just passing it off. You know that if you're the man, you're going to have to take more than 16 shots a game. It's on you to do that. It's on you to create that. If they're going to double team and you kicking it out, your guy's not making the shots, you got to put it on your shoulders and say, you know what, I'm going to shoot this thing Kobe style with 3 or 4 people on me, and I'm going to make it anyway. Then you tell your other guys, hey, man, y'all got to rebound too. You got to hustle, get to the ball, because if you got 3 or 4 guys on me, what are y'all doing? You sitting around watching. If I'm shooting it, get the rebound, you know? So they have to come out and be aggressive and not just say that they did this to us, and so we responded by making the correct basketball play. No, dog, we're not going to let them dictate everything that we're going to do. You know, whatever they're doing, we're going to look at it, and we're going to say, this is how we're going to attack it from now on. They want to double team me? All right, bet. I'm going to kick it to my guys. My guys don't want to make the shot. All right, I'm going to shoot. Y'all better get the rebound if I miss. Simple as that. It's a mentality.
And you have a rebound. You got a rebound advantage if you crash the board because 2 people on me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's not boxing you out, dog. So why are you not getting the rebound if I am shooting it? Why are you not cutting to the basket so I can dish it off to you? There's something that got to be done, not just they double team and they have great defenders and I can only take 16 shots. You had 30 points last game. You know, you got to have 30 points the next game also, unless y'all going home. Cancun packing, you're going fishing.
I tell you this, Chico, I know we don't have our conspiracy theory graphic like we do with the story time on here, but y'all remember my conspiracy theory that said if I was in charge of the league, one of these Texas teams, such as San Antonio or Dallas, would get the number 1 pick. And I said, if I was in charge of the league, New York Knicks would make the finals because, I mean, that New York market, you just can't damn beat the eyeballs. Having said that, I can also say, as a fan, as a player, as a person in the seat, it doesn't matter who you are, this Pacers OKC finals that's shaping up to be, at least, that's just good for basketball, man. Like, if you take the association out of it, you take Madison Avenue and marketing and commercials out of it, this is going to be, if it goes the way it's shaped up, this is going to be good for basketball because styles, just like boxing, styles make fights. It's entertaining. It's 2 small market teams. It's good for ball.
Yeah, they're almost like mirror images of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think about how they defend, when you think about the players that they have, who makes the plays on each side. Yeah, the way the teams are currently constructed, they both play about 9 to 10 players. Yeah, I mean, really a mirror match. So I think it'll be great for basketball. I think it's not going to be great for casual basketball fans.
Yep.
So I think it could impact the viewership a little bit. So I
absolutely will.
Like, I think the casuals won't be like, you don't like Halliburton, like and Pascal Siakam, like, and maybe SGA probably has the most star power left in that. I would say.
But still, do shoot. I'm jumping on Chico toes again. You're being polite with it. Because you know damn well you ain't been in no mall and see nobody in no Siakam jersey.
But at least he has the you can say that he's a proven guy. He's won a championship with Toronto.
He's a baller.
He's been there before. He is a baller.
He's a baller.
And he does his thing quietly. Doesn't have to, not a lot of fanfare, so to speak. So I would look at him like being like a Jalen Williams or a Chet Holmgren on the other side. And like you said, we talked about this before. We got big point guards leading both teams. You have homegrown teams, guys that they've drafted or either traded for to bring over. Guys like Toppin stepping up. Neesmith really playing great defense. He's going to be key in this next game, whether his ankle is is 100% healthy. So yeah, I like that matchup. You know, being that both of these guys advance, I like these teams going against each other. Could be a 6-7 game finals, and Shea versus Tyrese Halliburton in the supporting cast.
Chico,
Hey,
the only thing I disagree with is the homegrown team. See, when I think homegrown team, I think all my draft picks.
Okay. Well, that's
That's
why
the
I
only
made
thing
sure
I
I
think.
say, you know, you got the draft picks and then a few guys like Indiana that they traded for, you know, like a Naismith and Toppin. But the other guys they pretty much drafted. Nembhard, Halliburton.
Halliburton came from the Kings.
I'm sorry, he came from the Kings, but you know, did he
I
play?
mean,
How
no,
many
I'm
seasons did
saying
he
like
play
you
with
just
the Kings?
named 3 of their top players that they didn't draft, Chico. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
but it's still a homegrown type thing that
you would think he would know more about
guys
the
that
team he
they've
picked.
guys that they've that's
Siakam,
been together
their
that
whole
they've
team
been
came from somewhere else.
they've been together
Siakam, they
for
traded for Siakam.
okay,
They
they
traded for
traded for
Halliburton.
him, like I said, but they've been together for a while. All of these guys that they've brought together, they've been together for a while. They're rooting them right there, and they're bringing them up with Coach Carlisle right there in Indiana. You know, is what I'm trying to say. OKC's definitely been homegrown, but Indiana have constructed their team with trade picks and draftees, and they've been together for a while. You can see them playing together for a while also. Guy like Miles Turner been there for a while, been the cornerstone of the Pacers. So that's what I mean by homegrown. Good job by the GM from the Pacers also.
There we go.
Yeah,
Shout out.
now you made the point the Dukes is trying to help you make.
All right, great.
Just like you picked the Knicks and went to the Pacers and went back. But one thing I'm
Call it what
telling
you want
y'all,
to call it, but it's broken
one
down
thing
to
I'm
where you
telling
can
y'all,
understand it to the
Chico,
bone gristle.
to clarify what I was saying, like you just clarified what you were saying and still got it wrong. If you look at a
Correct,
final
homeboy.
with OKC and the Pacers, which is shaping up to be, these series are not over, crazy thing happened. But if you have an OKC finals with the Pacers, what I'm saying to you, Dukes, is you walk through that damn mall in Atlanta, walk through the mall in Houston, even if somebody got an SGA jersey, they just got it. Like they ain't been had it.
Yeah.
And I
So
see, I can
you
come back and
got-
say, when last time you been to a mall? You just guessing now, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Come on, Chuck.
Like this,
Come on, Mr. Sensitive.
Like I don't even know why. I don't know why you would get that high this early in the morning in Hawaii. Like,
Hey,
dude, we
it's
get high in the
HI,
afternoon in
Hawaii.
Jackson. Like this dude is high at 7 a.m. in Hawaii, man. It's
Yep,
the
you
morning
wake up
run.
like
It's
that out here,
Dukes the
baby.
Scoop. It's BiggDogg Chico, who's clearly high as hell, and your man Uncle Neely. The morning run comes at you live on the pregame
Now I'm
network, 11 a.m. You something? I let you slide by with changing your pick.
I got video
I
footage
was
of that.
up last night and I was watching
Got
old
video
clips.
footage of that.
And yeah, what I did was I did pick
That's
the
a
Knicks,
fact.
but then I
Hey, we got a guest coming up. Y'all stay tuned for that.
dang,
I'm
I was
gonna-
hoping he was here now.
Huh?
I was hoping he was here now.
He actually is, so we can bring him on. Let's bring on some real.
I'm gonna
intellect
ask him what he think
on this
homegrown
show.
is too.
Hey,
mean,
y'all know
you
who
can
it
hop
is.
on
It
that.
is our,
But
it is our
if
man.
you listen to it, I said the trade. I said Obi Toppin, but you
That man
just
had to pull.
clarified
That
and
man had
said
to pull the
that
answer out of you.
Halliburton
Because
was
every
traded
example
off
you
from
gave,
Brady.
you gave it wrong. They drafted Halliburton, and
Well, I picked the team I picked, and we don't need no hateration
would
or
you
no
let me damn
holleration
introduce the man?
in this dancery. Coach Carl Reed,
I'm trying to let the people know who joining us, man.
who's joining us, huh?
Man, straight out the STL, St. Louis finest, man. Championship winning coach knows more about the operations of recruiting, player evaluation, and even how the portal works. It's our man. He's 50% of the big boys, but he's with us this morning on the morning run. Coach Carl Reed, welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey man, y'all are cutting up in here, man. We say that Halliburton dad, y'all dog Halliburton dad this morning, right? Dukes wants he wants Ant-Man to play like it's recess. He just want him to take the ball and go 1-on-5, right? Like it's recess, like back in the day when you're the biggest sixth grader on the court, right?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with you guys today, man, but you extra spicy today, man. So hopefully I can add some flavor to it.
Appreciate it.
Listen, talking about recess, think about this. You got 15 minutes. You're going home anyway. Get into the big sixth grader. We got a better chance at getting than everybody else.
Hey, Coach, can that blind let down behind you? It's kind of right behind you. Got you looking shadowed.
All right, hold on. Let me check it.
Kind of looking like you're in the witness protection program. We want to see the beautiful call read. You are spicy this morning, Chico. You know, he could have said zesty. You're not zesty. You're a little spicy. SEC.
Well, I don't even know where to go from this. We're gonna wait on Coach to come back in. Coach, you got it ready, Coach? You good? Close the shade behind you.
I think that would help it.
How Coach got to make an adjustment, but Chico take me off stage. It just left the space. Duke's got to go. See, that's
half a second.
Subtle shots he be
Half
taking,
a
man.
second. Unbelievable.
That's subtle shots I be paying attention to. They be like, yeah, okay. Now y'all counting. Okay, just let y'all know.
See, that's how sensitive some people can be for no reason. just because you go off camera for a half a second. Don't take me off the camera.
But you did do it though. You did do it.
Man.
Like there was no reason to take him off, man. But you spiked
Coach Carl Reed, we appreciate you joining us this morning. How you doing, Coach Carl Reed?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to be here with you brothers, man. Now, I'm normally talking football with y'all, but y'all talking hoops like y'all really know basketball, man. Like 1-on-5, we talk about. Now, I say this. Now, I got a lot of friends in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, right.
I have heard rumors, Dukes, that you are known when your son is playing to go out on the field. I've heard rumors, right? Hey. I don't know if it's true or untrue. I wasn't there to see it myself, but I did hear rumors while you over here talk about Halliburton that you will walk out on the field during the game if necessary.
But look, that's the truth. That's why I said Halliburton, Dad. It's the truth. When my son was playing I-9, I literally walked out on the field and I said, if ain't nobody else go coach, I'm a coach. And don't be mad if I run Cam left, Cam right for the rest of the game. So, and that's what I did, man. Cam had 4 touchdowns. And that's how it went. But what I was saying about Halliburton, Dad, I felt like it gave him the juice that they let him back in. I said, shoot, the man went off. What he had, 30, 15, and 10, no turnovers. Daddy was there. Shoot, they said, hey, look, don't come. They gave him a speech. Don't come down here. Stay up there. He looked up. You know, shoot, Pop's got a little Mahomes daddy on him, bro. I think you need that in the game. Personally.
I have a question, though. I-9 is like the little league that it doesn't matter who wins. You know, you just put together a team and let them
it always
play.
Matter who wins. What are you talking about?
But I-9, let me get it right, because out here, I-9 is that. Is it not like that everywhere where I-9 is not supposed to be competitive?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what they're doing in Hawaii, but you got to win.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, we got I-9. Look, I-9. They got trophies. They got trophies here.
Chico sound like a loser, coach.
Yeah,
see, that's the difference because they gave out participation trophies, but like they have an I-9 here, which is like a non-competitive league. Then they have the other leagues where you can sign up for and compete. You know what I mean? And really be on the team, like kind of like a travel or something, or AAU or something. But then the I-9 is for anyone who just wants to play. So that's why I was kind of laughing at, like Duke's out there going serious on I-9. You know,
man, they got the little trophies they give out. They got first place, second place, third place.
So as long as they're giving out trophy, it matters who wins then, right?
Man, let me tell you what Brent Musburger said. Brent Musburger said, as long as it's a scoreboard, it matters who wins. As long as winning matter, people gonna do whatever it takes to win.
Hey, talking about
Dukes, I gotta tell you this. Now let me pour into you a little bit.
Okay.
I like how you tried to associate Halliburton Pops giving them the spark, because what I heard was you lobbying so you can get back on the sideline. I like that. That's good work. But I will tell you, Coach Reed knows as well. That's actually how Coach Prime's coach career started. He wasn't going into coaching. He was taking his sons to participate in Little League and saw how bad the coach was and said, I got it.
Nah, man, I mean, really and truly, that's the first time I coached anybody like, hey, bro, hey, don't even worry about it. I got it. But I told him too. I said, if don't nobody else come out here, it's gonna be Cam left, Cam right. Posted it on my social media and everything. And that's exactly what it was. And then I got some help for the rest of the year. And then shoot, I mean, that's how I went.
Ain't that how everybody gets started though? You taking your sons out there and then something don't go right, you know. And for me, it was my little brother. You know, when he was coming up, you go out there, you know better. You know, you got to give some love to the volunteers though.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. Absolutely, man.
That's exactly how I got started back when I went back home. I went to see one of my friends, coach, who I played with. He had his son, but he also had my little cousin on the squad. And he couldn't make it to every practice. Chico, hey, Chico, go out there and coach for me one time. I ain't gonna make it. Go out there and coach. And I said, okay, I got to stay out here. And that was the end of it. Got me a team the next couple of years.
I see you,
Shaking
Chico.
your head for Uncle Neely.
I'm shaking my head because you be leaving out key parts of the story.
Uh-oh.
You put two of that man tires on flat the night before. That's why he couldn't make it. Because you knew he was gonna have to call you. Coach Reed, you know, everybody's back in Boulder next week for strength and conditioning. But today, on this Wednesday, the new players had to report to check in for physicals, orientation, all that kind of stuff. But everybody's back and with it on next week. What are you looking for out of these new buffs for 2025 in the strength and conditioning phase, particularly under new coach in Colorado, Coach Swayze?
Well, number one, I'm looking for them just to work hard and listen to Coach Swayze because he's the very best in the country. It's going to be a lot of trash cans set up because guys going to be throwing up, you know, guys going to be coming in there. But adding to the chemistry, especially on the offensive and defensive line, we have some great additions up front. And as you continue to round out a team that you want to be competing late into November, going into December, it all starts in the trenches. So you want your linemen to be in shape, you want them to be strong, and you want them to be in condition to play four quarters. And coach, there's nobody better than getting you ready for that than Coach Swayze.
DM difference maker.
That's what I call him. Now, Chico, I pause so you can go ahead. You don't even want your spot.
Want me to go? Okay, now I can step in. Coach Carl Reed, yes, you mentioned that offensive line and how many additions on there. What are some other spots Colorado Buffaloes have made some additions to and key transfer additions on that team that you are excited about?
I'm excited about the secondary. You got two big holes to fill. You lost Travis and you lost Shiloh, right? So seeing how that secondary winds out now, McKinney is going to be a first-round pick in the next year's draft. I mean, he's got so much versatility, long, athletic, can cover the ball intermediate and in the deep part of the field. But I think that when you think about how good the defense was a year ago in Rob Livingston defense, the key is going to be Shiloh made all the checks and the calls on the back end. And so a lot of people don't really understand how pivotal of a role that is to be able to get guys lined up right, especially when teams start going motion and changing personnel groupings and all of that. So I'm interested to see who Rob Livingston puts in that position to be the captain of the defense on the back end of it. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I'm going to add.
Mm-hmm.
We lose Shador at quarterback. Salter, Juju Lewis, you know, we got a transfer in. We got an incoming freshman coming in. I'm really excited to see how that battle continues to develop over the course of fall camp.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of fall camp battles, can you tell us something about what Colorado got in Martavius French, the linebacker out of Memphis? I believe he was at Jacksonville State, if I'm mistaken.
You got a kid, number one, who can run from sideline to sideline. You got a guy, and you got to be able to do that because the key to having a linebacker is having a guy that can play on all three downs. In the early downs when they might be run heavy with the tight end fits and the H-backs, but also when they go to 10 personnel and they go 4 and 5 wide receivers, being able to drop off the number 3 receiver and being able to play underneath those things and meet people at the point of contact. Linebacker is a position that we've been weaker in the first couple of seasons, and now you start to get guys who can really fly around and play that position. I'm really excited about that addition at linebacker. I think he's going to add a dimension to the defense that we haven't had here in the past at Colorado.
And he came from UTSA. That's my bad. I think Reggie Hughes came from Jacksonville State.
Exactly. 20 starts, 163 tackles, 100 solo tackles at UTSA, with over 80 total tackles and 17 tackles for loss. Exactly what Coach Hart said he wanted to bring at the linebacker position. More of a sideline guy, like Coach Reed just said. More athletic than Bentley or Nakai Hill Green. So the same thing with Reggie Hughes, also a more athletic linebacker. So that's what I'm loving from
And
that.
you gotta have guys that can. And the way football is played now, you gotta have guys that can run. I was just telling a high school kid the other day, you gotta be able to run in this game and play in space. And I think that he's going to add some value to that.
Yeah.
Coach, we always talk about the nuances of the portal on this show. And it's still a relatively new thing in college football when you look at the longevity of college football and what the previous rules were. You know, there is a deadline to get in the portal, but not so much a deadline to get out. I can remember Jackson State when James Houston, who went on to play with Detroit, came from Florida, and he didn't show up to August. So my question to you, Coach, is there's a lot of splash in the early days of the portal, and then it quiet downs around here. Is there anything left in there that can help these teams? And if so, how do you go find it?
There's definitely still some really good players in there. The problem is when guys haven't been picked up this late, there's a reason. There could be a discipline reason. There could be an academic reason. There could be a legal reason. So when you find diamonds in the rough this late, you have to really do your due diligence to make sure that you going through the entire situation, because it's very rare that a player can help you in the big time this late. But there is still some out there if you can work through the issues. Now, some coaches are really good at working with guys through issues or mistakes. Some guys are really are not as good as that. It all comes down to when you're dealing with kids who might have some baggage. You want to find out, is the kid a bad kid or did the kid have a bad night, right? Sometimes a kid makes one mistake. He had a bad night in the moment and he gets labeled, and it's hard for him to get back in the game. So you have to be mindful of that. But we all know there's also a lot of kids who do BS all the time and are always in trouble, but they never get caught, right? So it never gets brought to the table. So I think that when you're adding kids this late, you just have to do your due diligence. You have to talk to people. You have to talk to people that know the kid. You have to ask the kid, is he ready for the opportunity? But yeah, there still are a couple guys in there that could really help some football teams.
Love it.
Yes, indeed. Wide receiver position, we can go there. We got a lot of newcomers at that spot, and then some new guys who just came over from the transfer portal. Big time additions there, but you got some guys who's coming back who can make some plays too, and Amarion Miller and Terrell Timmons and Draylon Miller. What are your outlook and thoughts on the wide receivers at Colorado?
Well, the guys that are there like Miller, it's time for him to have a huge breakout year. They've done some impressive things. He's done some impressive things as he's going to go. The key is going to be the consistency of the quarterback play early on and what we're doing in terms of quarterback play. Now, I do know that we're going to have a renewed effort on running the ball and controlling the line of scrimmage as well. So you could technically have more production from the receivers, but less stats, if that makes sense. They could be having an impact, but the numbers could go down a little bit because of the emphasis on running the ball. Coach Marshall Falk is going to have a dynamic impact on the run game and the way that things are done offensively.
Yeah.
Coach, as a championship winning coach and somebody who actually played the game at a high level, the landscape is changing by the day. If there was anything that you would do from somebody who's played the game and also coached the game and is really helping a lot of careers in other ways as well, what would you change about the game today, college football?
If I was going to change something, I would only allow kids to transfer once. Right? I think that when you get into the weeds of transferring 2 and 3 and 4 times, I think that you're hurting yourself developmentally on the field and academically in the classroom, but also a situation that people don't talk about, building relationships. Some of these guys have played at 3 or 4 schools for 3 or 4 different coaching staffs. And the problem begins is even when you think about the career center, when you're trying to find employment, they don't know anybody. They don't have anybody to call. They don't have anybody to lean on. They don't have any relationship that can help them get in the mix. And I know everybody's thinking NFL, NFL, NFL. I'm chasing my dream. I'm betting on myself. And I get that. But I would warn guys to handle your relationships properly, because once you leave, nobody's going to look out for you anymore. So I think that hurts kids from that standpoint. So if I was going to change anything, it would be that. But other than that, if I was a coach in this era, I would just adjust to the way that things are. I wouldn't live in the past. I wouldn't continue to go back to how it used to be back in the day, because I think coaches are extremely unfair to how hard they are on kids. The reason that we didn't leave is because we couldn't leave, right? If we would have had the option of transferring without sitting out when we played, it would have been the same mass exodus of transfers. If we were able to be paid when we played, it would have been the same mass exodus. People would have been looking for who could pay them the most money. But we have a tendency as old guys sometimes to be very critical of young guys because they're exercising options that we didn't have for ourselves. And so I think that you have to be more understanding to what those kids are going through, and they're facing a different set of problems than we were facing, when we were young.
Absolutely love that, Coach. Hey, it is the morning run. You got DukesTheScoop, Big Dog Chico, yours truly, Uncle Neely. Our special guest on this Wednesday morning hump day is no other than championship coach Carl Reed Jr. You can catch him at Coach Reed Live and all his streaming platform as well. Hey, Coach Dukes talked about something where he mentioned change, and we all know change is inevitable. Not going to be any changes in the playoff makeup this year. And let me say this: Coach Prime's goal last year was get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. His goal this year is to get to the Big 12 championship and win it, which thereby means making the playoffs. But there's been some discussion amongst league commissioners, although nothing is set in stone yet, have been decided for 2026 about changing the playoff format. The most discussed one is a 4-4-2-2-1-3 format, where you got 4 teams with automatic bids from the Big Ten, 4 teams from the SEC, 2 from the ACC, and 2 from the Big 12, where Coach Prime plays, with 1 in the third slot, that 1 being like a Notre Dame and the 3 being earned. What do you think about the current playoff system and what's being proposed out there, or if any changes are needed at all?
People want changes because they want inclusion. The SEC wants a guarantee that their top 4 teams get in because they feel like the 4th team in the SEC is a better team than Boise State or whoever could potentially come from the group of 5. It just means more. They want that. The Big Ten now, after winning back-to-back national championships, feels like they are now on equal footing with the SEC in this era. So whatever the SEC wants, they also want. So every league that comes into this is positioning themselves to get what they want or what they desire. Everybody's pushing for their own interests. But I will tell you this, with 100% certainty, every single year in football, the best team will be the last team standing, no matter what. The best team will win it all in the end every single time. Football's too physical of a game. It's not like basketball where one dude can get hot and hit 40 and send you home. It doesn't operate that way. The best team in college football will always be the last man standing.
Love that.
Usually. Let me go back real quick. You said about the the one-time transfer, and I'm with you on that as far as the relationship building, because you just don't see a lot of that if you're constantly transferring. Hell, you can't even get guys to commit to learning the fight song, because they're like, man, we're only going to be here for a semester. Why do I need to know a fight song for? But that shows you that the buy-in is not there with some guys. They don't want to learn the fight song. They don't want to learn the traditions. They don't want to make the connections and the relationship and network with the people who are there. And once they're done at that university, they're just gone. There's nobody they can call. So I can feel you on that, but also there are some guys who may need that second or third transfer, and you see it work out for them, right? So it's kind of like, you know, where you want to go with that. I just want to get you to expound on that a little bit more, or also get Duke's or Neely's thought on that. Do you think one-time transferring is enough, or do you think it should stay open the way it is?
I will argue with you on the overall success of guys who transfer the second and third time. You know, if you really sit down and open up the numbers, that'll be a conversation for another day. But the statistics would show you that the more you transfer, the less likely you are to find success. And we can point to some exceptions because I think that we all have a habit of pointing to the couple of exceptions. You know, we'll say, well, Cam Moore did it, you know, or this other kid did it. Yeah, but those guys are the exceptions to the rules because they super talented. You're talking about the best players in the world, but oftentimes the kids we're talking about are not the best players in the world. They're guys that need to really lock in on education. They need to really lock in on relationships and things of that nature. And I saw a comment earlier. Some guys say, well, guys are running from competition and adversity. And I think that, like I said earlier, I think most people would move themselves away from adversity if they can, right? If it's just all about choices. We're getting upset with kids because they have choices that we didn't have. I know a bunch of dudes would have transferred if they were able to, you know, and the coaches had all the power back then, but they don't have the power now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach Reed. You know, sometimes we get in these put in these positions as talking heads where we get a perfectly fine question, but it just opens up through the answer for extra scrutiny. And you know, when you were asked, you know, wonderfully by Dukes, what would you change? You mentioned that as a change, and then we can begin to try to, oh, what if that actually happened? Let me tell you what I'm for, Chico. I'm for the freedom of making mistakes. You know, I don't want to abridge anybody's right, you know, to make their own personal choices that they feel benefits them. And I think that organizations, particularly coaches, or here all the way up to NCAA, you know, they craft rules that are in their best interest, not the player's best interest. So I don't have a issue with necessarily transferring more than one time. I would point out to those players or point out to those coaches or families what Coach Carl Reed is saying that you do have to look at the lay of the land when it happens. More times than not, you exponentially fail, not just fail. And so at some point, you know, you have to look in the mirror and realize what you're transferring is you. And if you're the problem, you're going to move the problem round and round and round again. And I think, Coach, you know, from your evaluation recruiting, that a lot of times people aren't honest with these players, and players aren't honest with themselves, and they think they're a Cam Ward. You know, when you're really a Chico Cleveland, and you don't have the marketability and the ability that you think you have, and that you convince yourself of, and you think that you have these wonderful opportunities out there, and in reality, they just don't exist. You know, having said that, again, I'm gonna go back to rule one for me because I'm like you, Coach. Came up when you couldn't do it, and you hear players you talk to now, oh man, we stuck it out. We did the 2-a-days. Yeah, because if you did transfer, you had to drop down to be able to play. And the rules were put in place where it just made it where you need to stay your ass where you at. And that was rules that benefited the institutions in the NCAA. Now you see the rules are shifting toward the player. Again, you got the freedom to mess up in life. You got the freedom to learn from your mistakes. I think it's upon us, you know, as people who know better and can teach and reach out to these kids and say, look, man, think long and hard before you do this. There's a reason there's still thousands upon thousands of people still in the portal right now. They thought they had something. They thought they had a value, and it wasn't a realistic value to what the market is. Not what you say when you look in the mirror and you lying to yourself and you and your homeboys passing the blunt around. They're trying to tell you how great you are. If the market don't want you, you have no value.
We also got to look at this. So when we say we want the guys to have a choice, I'm fine with that too. I'm fine about you having your choices. But what we do have to tell those guys is, now you chose this, right? So when the league doesn't work out, you can't come back now and say, I'm having trouble getting the job. I'm having trouble with relationships. Because those are the other side of those choices. And I just want those guys to think through that. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, man. Coach, I don't know if y'all saw it. I lost his name. Saints former head coach of the Broncos.
Payton.
He announced a reporter pointed out to him and said, "Hey man, looked at your draft picks, and one of the things that's in line with who y'all drafted is they were guys who didn't transfer." And he said, we didn't go into that with that being the rule that we were going to follow, but you better believe it's something that was discussed. That we were looking for, the caliber guys, character guys that stayed where they were and performed where they were instead of bouncing all around. That mattered to us. And so I think that even when you're successful doing it, it still is something that's going to follow you around and something you're going to have to ask about. It's like in our professional lives, when you've bounced around from job to job to job to job, and the next interview you got, they say, "Man, why you don't never work no more longer than 6 months?"
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a perfectly good answer for it, but you better have that answer.
Right.
If you can't speak to it, you dead in the water. Like, I know me and Coach Reed, we had conversations about kids, like multiple kids that, maybe from here, around his way or around my way. The first thing I'm gonna ask him, or the first thing he gonna ask me is, "Why you leaving?" And that's not just a question between us. That's any coaching staff. That's the first question that's asked. Why did he leave? And when you see multiple transfers, a lot of times it does cast a dark cloud over kids. I think the only thing I would change, even though I wasn't asked, I'm gonna interject myself into the answer, is that let's say it's one, you only get one transfer. I would add a caveat to say if the coach, a coaching change would be an exception, but not just a head coaching change. In the perfect world, I would let it be a position coaching change, because a lot of times guys are being recruited by their position coaches, and if a guy doesn't like you in his room, or if a guy doesn't feel like you fit what he wants to do in his room, you in trouble. But I don't care what nobody say. It could be the GM that loves you. It could be the head coach that loves you. If the guy in your room does not think you're the guy for what he wants to do and it's his room, you in trouble. So I would add to that caveat or that exception for the head coach. If your position coach changes, not even the coordinator, the position coach, because that's who you spend the majority of your time with. And that's the only thing I would probably add to that.
That matters.
You're right on that, dude. You hit that right on the head. I was talking to a GM the other day that loves a kid, but the position coach don't love him. And I think the GM can overrule the position coach, but not a kid sitting in the room with a coach that really doesn't want to play him. Yeah. He's dead in the water.
Ain't nothing you can do. You can't out physical that. You can't outrun it. You can't out catch it. Oh man, go ahead.
Oh no, I was finna comment. Maya in the comments with the blue star. Appreciate that membership, Maya. She says players have to learn to fight through adversity too. Stay and fight for your position. Here's something I want to push back on that statement with that word and that learn. One day we're gonna wake up in America in the next 2 to 20 years and realize that this shit ain't about learning. It ain't about education. It ain't about school. Like, no one is here to teach you something. They're here to win ball games, because ball games winning is what moves the needles, what keeps coaches under major contracts. Now, let me tell you this. You do have an anomaly. And Deion Sanders in Colorado, who will publicly say, "I'm here to turn you into a professional, turn you to a man, a great father." That's whether you play ball again or not, because the majority of you are not going to play ball. So he puts the emphasis on media training and financial literacy and professional development skills. Most programs in America ain't doing that, because it's about winning. It's not about developing you, unless it's like Dukes was speaking to your position coach, developing you to win within the system. You can look at these super conferences that's coming, or the way realignment is taking place. How you're in a conference in California playing somebody in conference in New Jersey, and it's about school of learning. Like, every day adjust the rules and proves that this is not about learning.
Yeah, it's about football now. It's definitely not about learning when you're taking classes like softball
or driver's ed. I took driver's ed.
And then coach, I took it twice. Uncle Neely, you lucky your position coach didn't leave. You was able to stay at Jackson State at right guard the water for that 4 years. So, you was on that bench.
Same thing with you at the Bible college over there in Alabama. The ROLB coach, roll out, lay on bench. He was right there with you the whole time.
Yep. And I made sure I got more playing time than you did. You know what I mean? At that Bible college. So hey,
your nuts don't count.
All good. Hey man, you handing out little paper cups of water don't count either.
That was high quality H2O though.
Man, you know what? Hold on real quick.
So anybody could have done that.
Speaking of high quality H2O.
Anybody could have done that.
Coach Carl Reed, this for everybody. Your favorite football movie of all time?
The Program.
The Program.
That's what I'm talking about.
The program.
And without even thinking about it.
No, they take the program.
The program.
The program and
so
Any
good.
Given Sunday. Those mine too. Both of those had like high impact type scenes and shots, camera angles and things like that. They went inside the football, behind the scenes, the life of the players and such. Those two are mine. One college, one professional.
That man
Program,
that
Any Given
explain
Sunday.
well. He said just answer.
It don't make no difference. And Dukes, you were asked the question earlier. I said Dukes and Unc, y'all give y'all answer also. So no worries. You were asked also.
That wasn't the same question.
Man, appreciate it. What about you, Unc? What's your favorite one?
Any Given Sunday for me.
Yeah, I like that one.
But if you let me do like Dukes, if you let me do like Chico and just ramble, if it ain't a football movie, sports movie, and this was gonna lose y'all because the rules have changed, and now it don't make no difference.
Please don't say
So
Booty Talk 59 again.
When they dropped blue chips and told the truth,
Yeah,
about how it really works,
that was the basketball version right there.
woo!
Yeah.
Give me blue chips for any kind of sports movie.
He went down to Algiers.
Blue chips cold-blooded, yeah.
Algiers and found Big Shaq down there.
That's old school recruiting.
Oh yeah. Went to Indiana, got Ricky Rowe what he wanted. He just wanted a tractor. Like what we get? We got one kid a tractor.
I tell you what, ain't nothing new under the sun. You better believe it's gonna be some crazy stuff happening.
Some tractor
if they put this salary cap in place like they supposed to, okay.
20 million.
Okay.
20.5 million. I think 17 is for football.
Man, and in my opinion, I think it's all about how you structure it now. It's about being a legal gangster, right? Like, you know how they talk about like in the music business, like, hey man, you know, this guy was a crook because you're like, no, he got the paperwork to sign for it. So if you think that one of these billionaires that has a company outside of the salary cap that's in that area isn't going to say, you know what, I think I've got a $2 million ad deal for the number one player on this team. And the team could go say, you know what, you come here, I know of a guy, they're not supposed to. They're gonna find their way around it. Just it's gonna be blue chips.
It'll be like salary cap and signing bonus. Like, we can sign you under this based off the 17 million that we have, but here's another 2 million in endorsements from this car company over here, this car dealership,
Chico,
for you to come sign with us.
Chico, do you remember the quote I started off with when Coach Reed was joining us from Musburger? It was about this very subject, about cheating in sports. And that's what he said. As long as there's a scoreboard, winning matters. And as long as winning matters, people are gonna do what it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
If you want all this to stop, take the scoreboards down.
Yeah.
Man, say something new.
We've already seen donations from West Virginia by alum Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
We've seen donations too, I think it's Michigan, from Portnor from Barstool Sports. So these are private donations already coming in.
Yeah, we gonna see. Hey, Coach, what's the last you heard on the salary cap and the scholarship limits?
It should be coming soon, man. I haven't really got no updates on it other than that it should be coming down the pipe pretty soon.
Yeah, and people starting like, so now you got some schools that are already basing their recruiting based on the salary cap, and you got some schools that say, you know what, just in case, we're gonna act like it's the old way. And and that's why this is probably one of the craziest recruiting classes that we've seen. Like the 26 cycle, it's probably the weirdest cycle we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
a lot of kids, a lot of the big dogs ain't committed. It's not a lot of fanfare at the top. It's just,
but nobody cares about signing that no more.
Oh, done for.
Great point, Coach. Great point.
Terrible.
Nobody cares about that.
Landscape has changed.
It's on you, huh?
No, I didn't. I was about to ask Coach. I knew he had to run in a little while. If we took too much of his time, I was going to let him let us know. But if not, like I told you, welcome to stay as long as you can, brother.
Well, I got to jump out of here within the next 5 minutes. But
okay. Well,
I got 5.
I got a perfect one for us to discuss in this 5 minutes that you got left.
Go ahead.
Of course, we'll yield to you to go first. You know, Coach Prime is the lightning rod. They're going to shoot at him no matter what, even if they leave their name off. I shot Chico a graphic earlier with an anonymous Big 12 coach who, Chico, if you ain't got it, I'll read it.
Okay.
Where the graphic at? Let me see it.
Well, like a lot of times you send Chico shit, coach, he act like he ain't get it, Send it to him. Send it to him this morning. I mean, let me tell you
I'll pull it up for you,
something.
Coach Reed.
Let me tell you something, coach. If you ain't
If you-
noticed, outside of Dukes, I ain't got much to work with right here. Though. Like it ain't what it looked like, coach. Like, hey, you remember you came that first spring in Colorado before we got everybody out of there?
Yeah.
You're like, he ain't got a lot to work with.
He's-
All right, so this is a clip of an opposing Big 12 assistant coach said this on the record, but left his name out. I don't personally pay a lot of attention to anonymous quotes, but here it is. It's still a circus. That's not an insult to Deion Sanders, but it is. They've turned over a ton in the portal, and they're trying to make it out like it's competition-based result. But they're really going to struggle on offensive line because of transfers again. It will be interesting to see how Deion manages the culture here. This is a roster with big holes and a lot of questions. Salter is a good fit for the stuff they ran last year, and they have a lot of transfer wideouts. Hunter is good. Hunter is so good, he overshadowed a really good position group in the secondary. Right now, that is their strength that they can rework the front. The defense might be better overall. With the Suns gone, this is the year you really wonder, what is Deion, as in Sanders' long-term plan? Coach, what do you think about when these anonymous quotes get put out and coaches in the conference still chirping at Coach Prime about his management and coaching style?
Well, first off, when you have an anonymous quote, I don't pay any attention to anything that's anonymous. It automatically negates the comment when it's anonymous. But from my standpoint, when they say that it's a circus, right? Like what makes it a circus? What do you mean by that? There's high-level football being coached. You got multiple Hall of Famers and Coach Prime, Marshall Faulk, Warren Sapp. You got Pat Shermer, a 20-year veteran coaching in the NFL. You got Rob Livingston, who came from the NFL, completely turned the defense around and had multiple opportunities to lead, right? You have recruited some of the best players in the country. Are they saying it's a circus because of the pregame network and well-off media? Does that make it a circus, right? Is it a circus because of the superstars and the entertainers and the people who like to come to the games? Is that what makes it a circus? Because it's high-level football being played there. And more importantly, it's high-level football being coached. I told this to Coach Prime one time, and I couldn't get him to do it. But I said, Coach, people don't really understand, and I think that is foolish. But people don't understand how high his football IQ is.
Mm-hmm.
He will talk and coach circles around guys as just a football brain in what he knows, offensively, defensively, and is one of the premier special teams minds that you're going to ever find in football. And because of the aura, the commercials, the media, whatever, he get a lot of disrespect. But that man knows football, and he knows it at a PhD level. So all of these guys that are criticizing him, I don't think that they can go in a room with him and talk ball with him on any level.
Agreed. Dukes?
No doubt.
Man, it ain't even nothing else to say on top of that one, bro. Like, you nailed it, coach. Like, at the end of the day, you got somebody. It's almost like one of those times where kids don't know what to say, so they just use a word that they don't even know what it means. So when he said circus, he didn't know how to describe. He just said circus. Like, you just said something like, "Hey, bro, hey, little John, this conversation ain't for you, brother. Like, because you don't have a good enough use of the English language to basically describe what you're really trying to say. Circus was a horrible word choice, and but that lets you know the mentality of some people when they think about Coach Prime, because they don't have any better words to describe how they really feel. They just say a stupid word, and that was a dumb word to describe. He even said, like, even if you look at the rest of the quote, it doesn't match up to what he's saying. So it's like, bro, like, it kind of frustrates me as somebody who's been in the media and somebody who, why would you take something like that and put it out unless you just want to be clickbait, unless you just want somebody just to click on it? Because that's a quote that you actually kind of redact some of those words and say, you know what, this is not what you really mean. So yeah, I feel I got a little personal bias about that. But yeah, man, for sure, man. He just said something to get some clicks. That's all.
Big Doggy.
Man, I ain't got nothing to say about no negativity
Well,
like that. People
Duke said he ain't had nothing to say and then made an excellent statement. So if you ain't got nothing to say, please continue.
No, I'm just gonna leave it at that because, people come on here and say anonymous and don't want their name to be shown behind a statement that they make is just dumb. So who cares what they say if you're not gonna put your name on it?
I do got something else to say.
Oh no, you gotta come back later.
The whole college football damn circus. What you mean? Talking about because of transfers. Everybody got transfers. Everybody, even Clemson got transfers after they said they wasn't getting none. Come on, bro.
You ain't lying.
Some bull jump.
Well, Dukes, Coach Reed, Chico, I'm like the three of y'all have said, and I really personally don't pay attention to anonymous quotes. And let me tell you what I mean by anonymous. I don't pay attention to screen names, ain't people real names that can't be validated. You ain't been coming at me, your name is IP Freely 360, a butt cruncher 9, and think I'm finna pay attention to it.
You pay attention to butt cruncher 9. You know that now. Come on now.
You ain't crunching this butt, Duke.
That's a lie.
Look, when I look at what this guy said and the reporter that wanted to run with it, I mean, the only part of it that got some credibility is the last sentence where he says, with his son's gone, this is the year you really wonder what Coach Prime's long-term plan is. I mean, I don't even think Coach Prime knows that because he's never not coached without his sons. But when you look at the beginning of it, calling something a circle, let me tell y'all something, Chico, Dukes, Brother Reed up there in St. Louis with the Mississippi River run through, so you're right there with us. Sometimes I may not know what racism look like, but I know what it smells like. And it sure smell funny. It reminds me of a softer version of racism, which is actually worse, and it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. And what I mean by that, sometimes when people look like the four brothers on the screen look, the bar gets lowered. And anything that's outside or beyond that is trivialized, like, oh, they're not doing it traditionally. It's a circus, it's a clown show, it'll never work. And to what Coach Reed said, man, I have been blown away at Coach Prime's football acumen. I mean, this dude can go sit in the offensive room and nitpick and find flaws in the plays and where he would attack it as a defense. And of course, he knows the defense side of the ball. We all know that. And then, of course, he knows head coaching because look at the staff he was assembled and how he's on brand, on message, on topic, and raising funds, et cetera, et cetera. If your takeaway from that is a circus, man, damn, where can I buy a ticket? I want to go to that show.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
Go ahead, Coach.
You gonna buy a ticket? I still want my ticket for free now.
Boy, crazy.
I'll say this. I really do think, like you said, that might be the only statement. I really do think it's going to be, and has already started to be a challenge for Coach Prime to coach without his sons being there. Because I could tell you, and based off what he said, and based off how I told you I got into coaching, it's going to be it's already a challenge. He's already thinking about it because I know the motivation was to provide the best for his own kids and everything around him. That means the best coaches, the best facilities, everything he could provide that's in his power for that. Now, the challenge is going to be to find that that motivation from kids that are not your own. Now, he's forged a relationship with a guy like Jordan Seats and the other guys on that team, but I would challenge him or any other coach to get to know all of the new players as well as you can, so that then you'll have that relationship with them and that motivation to help these guys individually, just like you will have that motivation to help your kids or your loved one, whoever that got you into coaching initially. So I think, you're right on with that.
I think that he's going to be fine. And I think that because what else is he going to do? He going to fish all day?
Probably good.
He ain't going to fish all day. Like, he's as competitive of a human being as you're going to ever be around. And you need a place to compete. I think that he's going to be fine. I think that he's as focused as he's ever been. And, he doesn't comment on everything that he sees, but he sees it. Believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day, man. I had a FaceTime with him, Coach, and I'm going to tell you spot on. He is definitely as laser focused as I've ever seen and I've been with him five football seasons now. And even the demands that he told me he was going to make on his staff and what he's expecting of them. And that's not that demands were lower. He just realized that there's more at stake now. 9
Mhm.
ain't enough. Getting to a bowl game ain't enough. We got to go to the Big 12 championship and win it. That means everybody's expectations has gone up a notch, and accountability has to go up a notch. So he is definitely more focused than I've seen, and the standard remains the standard, and the standard keeps going up.
Yeah. And I think if he continue to preach that, like you said, the standard is the standard, and just continue to build what he's been building on, challenge his coaches, more talent is going to continue to be attracted to Coach Prime and his staff and everything he's doing up there. So they're going to continue to get better over the years, I think, because just of the talent that's going to be attracted to Colorado. So
Had a super chat drop in for Jermaine Thomas, $2 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Thank you all for empowering my work day. Hey, Jermaine, thank you for watching the morning run during your work day. We had a
and
special
always
guest,
share.
Coach Carl Reed, with us today. I know he's going to be back. Of course, you can always catch him on the Big Boys with yours truly, but you can keep up with him on his personal social media and his channels as well. Coach Carl Reed Live, Coach Reed Live. I'm sorry, Coach Reed Live is where you can follow him. So make sure you go hit the gram, Twitter, YouTube, because the brother's always got some phenomenal advice and content to drop on you. Coach, man, we appreciate you being on with us today. And the door is open for you to come back anytime.
All right, my brothers. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great one.
Yes,
You
sir.
too, Coach. Appreciate it. Coach Carl Reed.
The Big Boys.
Guys, got a few other things. I do have video footage, man. Coach, not Coach, but Shedeur Sanders looking good. OTAs with the Cleveland Browns. Here's a quick clip from Shiggity Shedeur Sanders throwing darts out there. And also I have a report from a couple of guys who were at practice and watching practice and was able to see Shedeur Sanders. And here's what they posted. I think it was 42 of 50. That's what I want to see. 42 of 50, 615 yards, approximate, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions thrown by Shedeur Sanders. Can y'all talk about what he's been doing at OTAs? I know you haven't seen everything, but just, this seems like right on par with Shedeur Sanders. Anything surprising to you, or should I ask?
No, none surprising. I've been watching Shedeur practice, since he hit college. So had the blessed be at practice for 4 years of that career and saw what he does before practice, during practice, and after. And so none of this is surprising whatsoever. I can remember him being so accurate and successful, at practice. We just we just stopped tracking the stats. Like, he'd go days and then weeks without an INT. And that's what on the other side of the ball. So I think the work that he does away from the cameras, with his trainer Daryl or with his own personal working out, as far as going early, staying late, I'm not surprised at the success that the Browns are seeing. And this is why I said, man, the Browns won the NFL draft because they got a $40 million guy, for $4 million. And Shedeur is going to show up and be who he is, regardless of where he was drafted or how the draft process went. So you're getting everything you would have gotten at pick 3, at pick 144, because he's not going to change who he is because of what someone else says or thinks. Like he says, he's not trying to prove them wrong. He's proving himself right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna put a ton of stock into what they say. I'm gonna go off of what I know. You can give me all the I don't even know them real stats, to be honest. I don't know if that was.
Of course, I think we can go by the completions, but the yards could be inflated. That's why I just say approximate on that yards. But the completions were about exactly what was reported.
Man, and the crazy part about it is like water wet, the sky blue.
Fat meat greasy.
Fat meat greasy.
Can't read aloud.
And Uncle Neely is gonna
Yeah, man.
it's
it's just certain stuff we know. You know what I mean? So we know Chico and Unc. We know Chico and Unc gonna shoot shots. You feel me? Like,
I thought you was about to reiterate what Unc just said. I was gonna say, damn, Dukes. No.
Hey, boy, I'm Switzerland out here, bro. Hey, I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral, man. I ain't. Hey, I just sit back, I'm like, I'm gonna tell everybody else they shooting. Hey, they shooting, y'all. Hey, you ain't
Hey,
trying to get in.
matter
You
of
better
fact,
duck.
matter of fact, we have a poll each and every show, and this is gonna be the first poll
Hey,
that we have
when
at
do
this time.
me and Deuce get input on the poll? Why you get to pick the poll every time?
And why I do a lot of stuff every time? It's up to y'all. Y'all want to
Because
do
it
it?
be wrong every time
You
you do
can
it.
definitely do it. You can definitely do it. But here's the poll for today. Vote for today's favorite. I had nothing else to come up with, honestly. And it was Unc, Chico, and Dukes. And right now, Duke, Switzerland is leading with 41% of the votes.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I logged in from my burner account. I voted for Chico because I felt bad for him.
Hold on, you got a poll?
Yeah, you got to look at it on YouTube. On if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you go to the live chat, you can vote right now. Y'all know to run them likes up, run them votes up for your big.
Maya, exactly right. That's what be profound. Shout it again, Maya with the blue star. Hey, look, a lot of times
I could have put it in for favorite of me now. I could have easily put it for favorite for me now.
I'm trying to make a point that benefits it all. Ball your fist.
Go ahead.
A lot of times when it's not a super chat, we're gonna pick the comment where the person got a star by the name because the star means you're a member. So shout out to Maya and her membership. And she says Chico picks the poll and he still lose.
And since I can't read and you can, her name is Mia, not Maya. Oh, now. Chico picked the post. No, I just read when she said my name. Mia, not Maya.
MIYA can't be Maya, can't be Mia. Like it, like what
Just like Yvette explained how she.
But yeah, but I let her know I was intentionally saying that wrong. I know it's not Yvette, it's Yvette.
Unball your fist, unball your fist.
A comb your hair.
Nope. Somebody said earlier, when are we going to have the peace treaty between Chico and his comb? That was funny, but why I need to comb my hair for your pleasure, for your satisfaction? Goodness gracious. You understand me? It's all good.
I'm gonna just start calling the laptop. Ain't there a laptop in the lap? On my picture. We got one that got a purse with a lock, and then we got
AI avatar.
Ladies
and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your tickets right now. Colorado Buffs football single game tickets on sale right now. First game, Georgia Tech, August the 29th. Make sure you log on. Get your tickets right now. The link is in the description, or you can go to CU Buffs Football on Instagram or Facebook right now. Get yours while they last. Single game tickets for the Colorado Buffs football season on sale right now. Tell them the voice of the Buffs. No, I can't say that. He already took that.
This dude on that good dope. I'm telling y'all, man. That joker got up this morning and he blazed one. And he ain't came down yet.
Oh, so you read that then, Mr. Blaze One.
Coach Prime with his morning message today. The message was, when I'm able to bless someone else, it minimizes my problems, trials, and tribulations. Let's seek someone to love unconditionally, speak life into, and just be there because they need you. Today, it ain't about you. It's about them. So, Chico, let me speak life into you because I want to my trials and tribulations. And you show, Chico, if you just keep trying to read, you're going to get there, man. Just practice silently. Stop dragging your finger across the page because that slows you down. And once you get that down, just start.
That finger.
No, that slows you down. And it blocks the words. Read with your eyes, not with your hands.
All right, there you go. Dukes, you got that one.
Yeah. Y'all got dudes like Destiny Child. He done lost his breath.
Y'all don't know that's a THC inhaler. Y'all talk about I be on some good. That's a THC inhaler that Dukes be on behind the Cartier.
But this ain't nothing but albuterol.
Albuterol. That's that. That's that. What Joe said.
Primatine Mist.
Primatine Mist. Take breaths. The opposite of Primatine Mist.
Coach Prime said, if you ain't disciplined, you ain't it.
Hashtag Coach Prime, period.
He ain't lying.
You ain't disciplined. You ain't it. Uncle Neely.
NFL. You don't take all day to do nothing.
Power Index projections for 2025. are as follows. The Eagles, 12% chance. This is the lowest percentage chance to win that we've had in the last 10 years, I think it was. And 12% is the Eagles, KC 11, Baltimore 10, 9, Buffalo, Detroit 8. Talk to me, guys.
I can't
Are we
argue with
right
that
there?
list. I can't argue that list, man. I tell you what, if I'm trying to find something that's like potentially missing and I can't, if it ain't the Falcons or the Cowboys, Dukes, you stop. You can put the helmet back up there.
Hey, it'll be
And
funny
if the Bengals find a way to play defense,
Mm.
they could be right under Detroit with, as far as chance goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't argue what's on that screen in front of me. All of them are capable of going to the Super Bowl.
Well, y'all hang on to everything. Reeve says 12%. Okay. Did I say 12% or 12%? All right, there you go.
Chico
Anybody on there?
Chico be having microaggressions too, man.
Yeah, don't he?
Anybody on there that should be on there?
Dukes, unjustified. Because let me tell you something he did earlier.
Unjustified.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Dukes asked the question.
Here we go again.
To Carl Reed. Carl Reed answered it. Chico has a totally different question that he asked of all of us. And then he come back at the end where you said, well, hey, my question was to y'all. I really didn't ask myself. And then you asked, he said, well, no, technically, Chico, I did ask you. I did ask you.
No,
Well, the same damn question, man.
Duke said, if I heard it correctly, Duke said
you heard it wrong.
Okay, well, if I heard it wrong, I can say I heard something wrong.
But you was still aggressive, though, man. You was microaggressive.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sorry. That's Coach Reed called it spicy. You spicy today.
No, you zested in.
Look, Reed said, damn, did I trigger Chico?
No, Duke said, I think if I'm not mistaken, Duke said that he answered the question. He's going to answer a question, although he wasn't asked. And
yeah, the question that he asked, he didn't ask himself.
Okay, well, I heard it wrong then. That's okay.
But we're not talking about your hearing. We're talking about your aggression. We're talking about your aggression. We supposed to calm you down. What you spoke? You spoke anti-weed.
Keep on going, Chuck.
What's the rest of that, Chico? Say the rest.
You're going to throw it at me?
Come over there.
I'm going to come over there and knock your ass out.
I'm going to knock your ass out. That's what it is.
Microaggressive. Hey, yo, Bae say you spicy today, Chico. She like it.
Keisha love. I know how we do when we get spicy. As long as I'm not zesty.
Yeah, somebody get burned.
Flip that.
As long as I'm not zesty. Love you too, Vonarando. Mia.
Said y'all, you and Deuce need group therapy. Well, Deuce don't need group therapy. Deuce need Chico to pay us some push-ups.
Look at, boy, you that dude in the projects that be like, ooh, yeah, damn. Chico, he said that about you. Ooh. We're gonna get together, we're gonna jump on you.
No, hey, I just be asking, man. I just be asking, like, hey, like everybody huddled up. We done had a great evening. Everybody about to go home. And I'd be like, hey, dude, Chico pages and push-ups yet?
Nah, we gonna get together and be like, hey, man, hey, that dude that always be trying to get us to fight, man, we need to beat him up.
Agreed.
We need to tag team and beat him up.
Agreed. We all need to jump Chico.
We gonna jump on the bully.
Hey, Keisha said you were 304, Chico. She said y'all ain't together no more.
Dukes, you ain't hear about it, Dukes. The last show, man, she was calling me a 304 the whole time, dude.
No.
Yeah, she said she broke up with me. She left me.
What you do?
You cheated on in her face.
Guess what she said though?
What?
She said, no, I ain't gonna tell you what she said.
What she say?
She called me all that stuff, then said she gonna go holler at you. I'm like, what that make you then?
Did you? So you basically inadvertently call her a 304 back?
No, I ain't called her one back. I'm just asking, like, don't that make you one if you saying that you gonna go do this? But you know what? We're gonna leave it alone, man.
Hey, Chico, Duke's chat. Y'all remember when you were put in that box where you just sincerely and earnestly believe your mama had got something wrong, but you couldn't say she a lie, and so you tried to find another word? He like, so what you say? You saying I'm lying?
No, you ain't lying, but you just stressing the truth.
Right.
So you calling Keisha a lie? I bet you won't call her a lie.
And stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody talking about Shasta had me stuttering. I was just playing along with it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I was just playing along with it, you know. Shasta know we family. We family for real.
I misremembered. That's funny. Not me,
misremembered.
but she said you misremembered.
Yeah.
Me, I bet I'm me.
Look at Reed. Look at Reed.
wide
Boy,
side.
they be coming at me, dog. Y'all, hey, you got 30 seconds to come at me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot.
I've been glad your barber not here because he hit you with his best nutsack. He drop it right on your shoulder.
Come on now, dog.
Love referring to nuts. Planters, that is.
Mo with the blue star. Mo said Chico's voice went down a whole octave when Shasta showed up. Dudes, we forgot to tell you. We had Shasta come back as a surprise guest on Uncle Chico Sunday night to see if Chico would have a freestyle rhyme introduction for on the spot without ChatGPT.
Dude.
F.
Let me tell you how Unc is not your homeboy, Dukes. He don't F with us. Well, he don't F with me like that, Duke.
Yeah, get it fixed.
Yeah,
me and Duke cool. I don't F with you like that. Don't try to recruit. Hey, let me tell you how Russia doing us.
He said get it fixed.
Russia ain't did nothing but to Ukraine. They ain't messing with nobody else. We try to get no allies.
What happened?
This man, he gonna invite Shasta on, right? And then tell me, then do nothing. Then now you know how your homeboy, if he brings somebody over to the crib or something, he wants you to meet. Hey, Dukes, I'm gonna bring somebody over. I ain't gonna tell you who it is, but hey, just be ready, be on point. Have your, you know what I mean, wear your Cartiers. You know what I mean? Don't. Yeah. He ain't tell me none of that.
Why would I tell you that?
He just, and then he come on, he put her on, and he like, I wanted to see where you gonna come with the same introduction. How am I gonna come with the same introduction? I don't even know she coming on, dog. Like you set me up for the fail. You ain't set me up for the win. You ain't got my back for real.
Last time you lied and said, I didn't write that in advance. I did that on the spot.
No. I said I wrote it right before we came on. I didn't say on the spot.
So we gave you time while she was on the show. We said, Chico, take your time. Write something down.
No, you didn't. I could have put on my other hair, Dukes, is what I was saying. He gonna let me come on with this hair.
Hey, man, like Jay-Z said in Lost One, he heard MF say they made hoes, said, okay, make another hoe. You had a chance to make another rhyme, and you didn't, which proves you ain't make the first one.
No, it doesn't prove nothing. It just proves that your homeboy ain't got your back for real, dog. He don't want you to win. He don't want you to win.
So that's what happened. He
don't want you to win.
So Shasta came back.
Yeah. Shasta came
and
back.
Then you was on the show.
Yep.
Trying to
I wasn't doing nothing but being professional. You know what I mean? But he brought her back.
Yeah, Chad, come on, Chad.
That's all. I was just being Chico.
They say Chico was blushing. They say Chico.
You know what I'm saying?
They say your voice
raps.
They say your voice went down a whole octave.
I was trying to do I was trying to do my job.
We seen the back of his mouth. He grinning so much.
Chico lied on the chat bad, trying to show out.
Yep, all of that.
How?
Chico lying again.
Well, technically, I picked the Knicks, but then I said the Pacers. But I made me a Knicks backdrop when I thought they were gonna win.
Yeah, said Chico was sweet on Shasta.
Yep. Period.
Man.
I'm here for it, man. I ain't mad at you, Chico.
All in her face, Keisha and Love.
All I was trying to do was
you.
And then at the end of the show, I'm like, I'm gonna call you later. Me and you gonna talk, Shasta. Me and you gonna talk. Don't call Chico. Me and you gonna talk. I'm like, where that come from?
I have no rebuttal to that. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what you said.
Do you have a number?
It don't matter.
She have your number. How y'all gonna talk?
Anyways, guys and gals, gentlemen, ladies,
Chico,
girls.
why the chat say you was capping them down?
So much capping the whole chat. I don't know what they talking about, Dukes. You gotta be more specific, man.
They say you lied on the chat.
They just like to say Chico lying, dog. That's just something they started. We're gonna put Chico
lying
in the chat.
With a lie. Talking about you didn't pick the Knicks.
I picked the Knicks. Y'all came and piggybacked and picked them too. And I highlighted
not knowing she was into astrology like that. Good. So the Scorpio announcement was what he thought.
That actually did happen, man.
Wait, what? Happen. Chico tried to drop he's a Scorpio, not knowing.
Genesis
was it? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, see how people lie.
Oh, you said now you said freedom of lie.
See how people lie.
Well, you call freedom of lie to her face.
Yes, that was a lie. Want me to tell you why?
Well, no,
because
no. I
she
want you to
brought up
say freedom
astrology.
you lying. Say freedom
She
you lying.
brought up astrology first, and
Say
I
freedom you
came
lying.
back and said it.
Say freedom you lying. I bet you will.
Freedom, you misheard it, and you got it wrong on this one. I know you probably came with good intentions, but if you go back and watch, she brought up astrology first, because I would never lead with that, because I know as soon as I say Scorpio, girls be like, oh, my last boyfriend was a Scorpio and he wasn't ish. Y'all Scorpios ain't ish. What are you, a
Exactly
November
right, Freedom
Scorpio
Genesis.
or you an October
Freedom
Scorpio?
with the Blue Star membership says, yeah, but you was like, I'm that sign everyone hates.
That's what I said. I'm the sign. Seems like everyone hates the same thing I just said
And
right
Keisha
now.
in Love, she's a member as well. Keisha said she paid $2 to break up with your ass in public. She broke that joke with a super chat, Dukes. She said $2 to announce the breakup.
First person to get dumped with a super chat. She paid to dump your boy.
Man, you must have really messed up, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say, man? Chico, you only get one life to live, dog. Now you got to live with your decisions.
Yeah.
This is the effing you get for the effing you did. That's what Uncle Neely said, right?
Man.
I'm sure he heard that a lot in his life.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Mo. He did technically kick Portia to the curb too, because that's who he originally flipped on Keisha in Love for. Because when she said her avatar wasn't AI, he was looking at her cleavage, and then he dissed Keisha in Love for her, and then Shasta show up, he dissed both of them.
Well, you talking about friends,
that, Mo. That's great history.
Why do you need enemies when you have Uncle Neely?
I'm just keeping record. Vaughn Randall said Chico was playing Shy Brother from the Heartbeats. And I ain't want to do it. Chico, hey, let's do Shy Brother. Nope. Nope, ain't doing it. Do that Joker under the bus.
How my whole demeanor came on screen. Yeah, I'm not gonna be sitting here like I'm talking to Unc. I'm just feeling like I'm talking to a respectable young woman.
What?
Chico,
it's the difference.
Chico Deuce, I gotta tell y'all something. And because Chico gonna say I'm lying, I'm raising
Unc,
my
it's okay, Unc. We know that
I'm
you
raising
wear
my
Mikey
right
shorts
hand,
to sleep.
and I swear the testimony I'm about to give is nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Oh.
You know, Dukes, what happened, we brought Shasta on to announce that her golf show is gonna start on the pregame network, right? She and I had a
Drive
Zoom
time.
yesterday to talk. Yeah, the name of the show is Drive Time, to talk about, the first episode she putting together. Here's what Shasta told me, y'all. If it's a lie, she told it. I'm telling y'all
Chico.
what she told me. She said, yeah.
How you gonna snitch on her, dog? Hey, you snitching on her. Watch this.
She said, yeah, the chat was on Chico's head so bad to see if the chat was telling the truth. When I got off the show, I stayed on for a little while to see if he's gonna start talking different. And his voice sure did change.
Now,
I swear to God. Hey, Dukes. Swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God that happened.
Chico, now you try to get on me for code switching when I was talking to them other people.
But see, listen, code switching and speaking. Listen, what Unc said was, "Oh, Chico, you speaking, you announcing all your words. You enunciating all your words." I said, "I'm speaking to her, Unc, not to you. I know you only understand a certain vernacular. I can speak to her the way that I speak. You know what I'm
girl
saying?
From Flint, Michigan, and you think you got to talk to her proper?
No, I wasn't talking proper. I was just
Mama
speaking.
Mexican, daddy black, and you think you got to talk to her proper?
I just like
he went to Jackson State. You think you got to talk to her proper?
Damn.
Hey, boy, I know one thing.
What that mean,
when Chico get the whoop dubbing, we hit. I know Chico in the wrong, Chico. Now I know you. I done learned that about you, cuz.
Not in the wrong. I'm trying to defend myself from wrong sayings and wrongdoings, and and sometimes it's hard to do that. You're like, damn, they actually said those lies about me.
That whoop dub, when that whoop dub come out, I'm like, oh, Chico, you're in trouble.
She stayed on because she enjoyed the show. That's what she said, and she said that Chico did start speaking a little bit differently because he was speaking to. Do you speak differently in the locker room than you speak outside the locker room when you're speaking to somebody who got some sense? Yes, absolutely.
People in the locker room ain't got sense?
And none, not at all. I'll say that with my hand held high. You ain't got no sense up in here. That's how we speak.
Hey, Reef is crazy, bro. Look at Reef last comment.
Reef be on. What do you say, man?
Hold up, man.
He did, Reef. He had hard R.
She gonna need that on. What do you say? Wait, go back.
No, yeah, that one. a certain vernacular. Like you won't understand a certain vernacular. Like, man, I know he ain't try Unc like that, but Chico, you
First
something
thing
else,
is what I let slide before
Unc
that
know I
read.
love him.
It
Unc know
took
I
him
love
3
him.
tries to get enunciate out. But I just let it pass.
And he said certain vernacular. Hey, Smokers, yeah, I was like, oh, Chico.
Man, y'all so wild, dog. Man, I'm about to go and
I bet you are.
take me a
it's
jog.
It's 90 minutes. You good?
About to go take me a jog. After I take a jog, get in the steam room. After I get in the steam room, eat me some nice avocado, eggs, toast, blueberries, bananas, and strawberries. After I do that, I'll
And that all
probably do
coming from out your house. What you gonna put on your plate?
Ha ha. That was almost good. I couldn't laugh the whole time. So that's what I'm about to go do. Any questions, guys? Y'all put them in the chat, Q&A, anything like that. Y'all let us know.
So Chico, where are you at right now in your online relationship status as far as the chat goes? Is it Portia? Are you trying to get Keisha back? Do you think
They
understand what
cut
I'm
his
saying?
they cut his ass.
You see, I love the Lord.
they want
This
these
dude said,
push-ups too, dog? I ain't even asked for them, but they want them. Where you found Chico?
hey, how
That's
you want
like
to do this?
Keisha Love. Keisha Love said, "This is the dude I said I'll read for him." That's how much she was supporting you. She said, "I'll read for him." Go get you some reading lessons, Chico the dog.
The
Not
dog.
Chico the dog. Dog ass. Do your dog
Dog.
ass.
Oh, Tommy, dog.
Dog ass.
No.
Dog ass Chico.
All right, man. Well, y'all know what it is. I'm gonna go take my dog ass.
10
Go do some
push-ups?
dog ass.
Look how you let that one go by quick though.
What'd you say? What? Hold up. Oh,
10
10 push-ups.
push-ups?
Y'all want to do some push-ups? I wish I could do them right here. You feel me? We're gonna have to come up with some, Duke, so where I could do them like that.
I tell you what,
to the beach or something.
I tell you what, you give me 5 jumping jacks right there.
I do them in the chair.
Nah, see, I stand up and do them.
Can't stand up. I'll be off screen. All you'll see is the room getting dark if I stood up.
All right, never mind, bro.
We're gonna end the show like that. Now y'all know to hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff.
We'll see that caked up Blue Star ointment that he washed off from last night.
The caked up Blue Star ointment. Stop cheek
Had to peel it off. Chico, hey Chico, I'm tell you something, man. You a dog, man. I fucks with Chico, man. Like that. Chico is my guy. I don't care what nobody in the chat say, man. I'm with Chico, man.
One man Rico.
That dude is awesome, man.
Frico Chico.
Oh man, that was funny.
Frico Chico, the one man
Back
Rico.
done. Oh now. I think we had one more super chat. Oh, who was that? Let me see. Oh, okay, that was Jermaine Thomas once again. Said drive time Queen Shasta on the way. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that on the pregame network. Right here, man, where y'all find
this weekend. Sunday,
the
June
morning
1st.
run. That's gonna be dope. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Chico is a goon. Oh yeah. Goonsville clothing. Most definitely.
Get the other goon.
No, don't say that now. You can't say that. That can't even joke with that one. I know you're gonna say the goon. Right? You can't do that. Can't do that right there. Hey man, can we get up off here, Unc? Y'all ready?
Yeah, it's 1:33, man. Come on.
All right, time to go home. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all know what to do. You ain't gotta leave. You gotta get the hell up out of here, though.
What?
Keisha mad still?
You pissed off with that one, Chico.
She's saying some shit she been wanting to say for months.
Chico, make it up to her, dog. Chico, you ain't sending no flowers. You ain't singing no song.
I told her she get flued out. You gonna get flued out?
You gonna fly out?
Yo, I forgot to do this the last 2 or 3 nights though. I promise you. And I think it's already passed now. But I was gonna call Unc on camera, and I was gonna call Dukes on camera, and then I was gonna play it on here. But I promise you I forgot to do it the last 2 nights. You know, because of the time difference and stuff. But y'all seen what's been going viral, right, on TikTok and stuff. With
about saying good night to your homeboy.
Yeah, the homeboys call each other and say good night. How would you guys have reacted? I wonder.
So I would react if Deuce called me. I react like the other people in the internet. If Chico called me, dude, I was like, I knew it. I knew you was a trisexual. Would try any damn thing. I knew it.
So you'll be like, I knew it. I've been waiting on your call the whole time, Big Dog Chico. I'm a trisexual OG too, so I just wanted to make sure.
Man.
I knew it. I was waiting on you this
I
whole
wasn't
time.
expecting I knew it.
I knew it.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Reverend BJ Nelson, we sorry, man. I'm glad you're in. We sorry, man. Woo!
Dukes, how would you respond, Dukes? How do you think you would respond?
What's up with you, dog?
Yep. I think that would have been it right there. Chico, what you doing, dog?
Hey, what's up, man?
Chico,
But you going too far, dog.
Chico called his male friends to tuck them in over the phone. I want you to have a good night's sleep.
Oh.
Just for the record, I didn't have one thought about calling you and saying that, Chico. Now one. That's one.
That's fine. That don't make you no more manlier or less.
I didn't say
manly.
it did. I said
know
just for the record.
But I do have to say this, Chico. I do have to say
Well, I was gonna call y'all.
I do exactly. Here's the issue I got, Dukes. Let me talk to Dukes like Chico down here. The concern I got about Chico, Dukes, is he sees this shit and thinks of us. Like the gas pump video, he sees it and be like,
dog.
I'm gonna send this to Dukes and Neely. Like, come on, dog. We don't want this.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny? Chico. Like, and it's fun. And I told the truth because I be like, Chico, what's up, dog? Like, even when we in the green room, Chico say something crazy. Like, Chico, what's up, bro?
Bro, what's wrong? Now, you need to talk to me, dog. You
Yeah.
need to talk to me.
I'm like, man, chill out.
That's not even no cap. I be like, Chico, you need to talk, bro.
Bro, I be dead serious too, dog. I be like, man, I'm just trying to joke, but I be like, man, listen, dog. You need somebody to talk to, bro. Like,
I be laughing
dog?
at him, man. I know he crazy. I know it.
Like, you don't see the stuff Uncle Neely be sending?
Man, I'm like, nah, Chico, you can.
Chico, let's imagine there's a line, right? The stuff I seen, it might touch the line. Your stuff be way on the other side.
Hey, man,
like way on.
Chico, what's up, dog?
See, that's what I realized, dog. It's just like when I used to play basketball. People will foul me, then I go back and foul, and the next thing you know, they say you fouled too hard. I'm like, how I fouled too hard, yo? I thought we was fouling. So now I'm going too far.
Yes. Hey, you punching somebody in their damn face.
I thought we were fouling. And not know nobody like me now because I fouled too hard, man. That ain't right, man. I gotta deal with
Chico,
this.
That's one of your best analogies. That's one of your
stuff.
best analogies ever, Chico.
That's real though.
Yeah,
Chico
is a cry for help. He was trying to tell us something. Y'all was on last week when I picked the doll up, and he tried to end the show. And Dukes didn't want to participate. I said, Chico, tell me what they touched you at.
No, that's not going too far right there. And that's not going too far. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I went back and watched that, because I didn't see when you actually turned him around. You said, tell him what he touched you at, Chico. And you had him sit like this. And then you said, now that was funny. I said, this Negro done turned the damn thing around.
Hey, and Deuce was saying, nope,
I ain't going to do it.
Nope. Chico, it's 1:38. You've been doing the closing since 1:15, dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, we still got people in the chat laughing like hell, so hey.
Because you ignorant. That's what they gonna be laughing at you. Reverend BJ,
I did see
$2 super chat. Chico, did you see my barbecue?
I didn't, but I would love to. And I also sent Uncle Neely and Dukes a picture of a question of whether it was barbecue or not. And y'all didn't answer the question. I wonder why.
Let me show you something that popped up today, Chico.
I wonder why y'all ain't answered that question.
Let me see. Can you see? You see what they say 9 years ago today?
Yeah.
9 years ago today. I said, ladies, for real. If your man don't season his meat the night before the cookout, he'll not only cheat on you, he's the kind of dude that'll run an identity theft scam on your mama. Don't trust him. Oh, and if he keeps flipping his steak and mashes his burgers on the grill with the spatula, he goes both ways.
Damn.
See, meat prep and barbecue patience will tell you all you need to know about the guy. That was 9 years ago, Chico.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you throw something on the grill don't mean you barbecuing.
Okay.
Barbecue is a process.
Mm.
It defines a process. Grilling is just you can grill vegetables. You don't barbecue vegetables.
Okay.
If you put something on the grill, it's grilling. When you follow the process, That's barbecuing.
Okay. I like that breakdown right there, and I can actually give you some points on that for breaking it down like that. You know,
Which I've been doing for 3 weeks now. But you
because what I'll be doing.
Are you saying that this ain't barbecue? Look at this.
If you ever catch Chico on behind the barbecue grill, you know what I'm doing. I'm be grilling and chilling. Ding, 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 billing. See them running, not sunning.
25 minutes
Getting
closing.
my shit.
It's now 1:40. You started to close it at 1:15.
Getting my fair share of funning. No running, just sunning. Said I'm grilling.
Reese said this the Baptist pastor on holiday Sunday closing.
And chilling. All right, we up and about this thing. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all know what it is. The biggest dog of them all. Chico to the sea.
I won't be long,
Badass
congregation. I won't be
Duke.
long. Just one more thing. And there go Chico, 20 more minutes.
Yes, indeed. Y'all still get time to get home for the Sunday football game. Save me a plate, please. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Have a great day. This has been another episode of
the Big Dog Chico Show.
The Big Dog Chico Show.
He did the tie-dye. He did the tie-dye at the end. Ta-da.
Ta-da. Like that frog on the WB. The WB. Man, I'm out of here, man. Y'all wild. Bye.
I know he still got the mics hot too. He ain't fooling me. He ain't fooling me. I wait till I see you end it before I say something to Chico. He leave the mics hot on purpose.
No, you ain't lying. Chico crazy, bro.
Get in the comments. Get in the comments. Peace and release. Y'all.